Okay, we are out of time. I have to go to a break, but I have to. This is a yes or no answer that you could give me. If in fact Dianne Feinstein were to retire, will you nominate an African American woman to restore the seat that Kamala Harris is no longer in the United States Senate? And do you have a name in mind?
I have multiple names in mind.
Yes and no.
We have multiple names in mind, and the answer is yes.
Okay, Governor Gavin Newsom, thank you very much for.
Well, let's just say it didn't quite go as planned. As it turns out, the much-touted first black lesbian senator is already getting hit with a massive scandal. We're going to see the latest on the latest diversity hire backlash and what it all means for our nation going forward. You're not going to want to miss this. Hey, gang, it's me, Dr. Steve, your patron professor, here to help you think better so you can feel better in these crazy and turbulent times. So if you haven't done so, you know what to do. Make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. Also, if you'd be so kind, please share this video with friends and family. We're once again being throttled by big tech, so I need your help to get the hopeful message of this channel out to as many people as possible. Well, sorry, Oprah. As it turns out, you will not be the next California senator. After all that speculation, alas, it was not meant to be. Same goes for the insufferable and reprehensible Meghan Markle. She, too, will not be the next senator for the Golden State. No, as it turns out, the wannabe next president, Gavin Newsom, Gruesome Newsom, as he's affectionately referred to here, he has just announced that he's appointed LaFonza Butler, the first black lesbian, to the U.S. Senate to replace Dianne Feinstein. And the legacy media gang, they can't contain themselves. They're like kids on Christmas morning. They're just jumping up and down over the appointment. This is the happiest day in their cultural Marxist lives. However, like I said, things may not be turning out the way Newsom planned it. As it turns out, Butler had all the necessary qualifications for this diversity hire. She's black, she's a woman, she's a lesbian, but she also happens to be from another state other than California. As it turns out, she is from the state of Maryland. FEC filings indicate that Butler's main residence was in Silver Springs, Maryland, as recently as 31 days ago. There are now reports that Emily's List, the far-left organization she worked for, has removed the final line of Butler's bio that states she was indeed a resident of Maryland. And despite that, she actually forgot to remove the location data from her Twitter bio, which stated clearly that she was from Maryland. That omission has since been rectified. They've removed her location data. Moreover, we're now finding out that she's not even registered to vote in California. She basically has nothing to do with California. And so even though the state of California has 40 million people living in it, their utterly incompetent governor, Gavin Newsom, Gruesome Newsom, has appointed a senator from Maryland. Apparently, checking the diversity hire boxes did not involve finding a senator from the very state she's supposed to be representing. So what on earth is really going on here? Well, that is exactly what we're going to find out. But first, how many UFC fans do we have out there? We know the one and only Donald J. Trump is a huge UFC fan, as are the fighters of him. But if you ever wonder what they do to manage their pain, well, we don't have to, because a fellow patriot and good friend of this channel is precisely the one who provides relief to that pain, and he's here to do the same for you. We all know that as we age, aches and pains are normal, but they don't have to be. And gang, that's where the groundbreaking medical scientist Clint Winters comes in. Now, you've seen Clint on Fox. You've seen him a number of times on this channel. He's a world-renowned health expert who's unveiled a natural pain reliever that's taking the world by storm. It's called CB2. It's the 100% drug-free way to get full-body pain relief without all the dangerous meds. And it is the official pain reliever for the fighters in the UFC. And the best part, CB2 has no documented side effects whatsoever after years in private testing. It's absolutely the future of pain relief. So whatever you do, gang, don't wait. Make sure to click on that link below right now and check out Clint's amazingly informative report on how CB2 is changing lives by providing safe and powerful relief at a fraction of the cost of pain pills. Click on that link below right now. Everything we're seeing play out here with regard to California's Senate seat is indicative of a social dynamic that scholars call re-feudalization, where our society is increasingly resembling the kind of caste system akin to the class structure of the Middle Ages. So at one level, we have a massive amount of power and wealth being accumulated and centralized in the hands of very few people. And at another level, we're seeing today a comparable kind of religious fanaticism, not through a clerical class or priestly class, but through what's called a clerisy class, a pseudo-intellectual class dedicated to woke fanaticism made up of race, gender, and sex. And this Senate appointment evidences both of these two refeudalizing dynamics. I'm sure you all heard that Dianne Feinstein, who died last week at the age of 90, has left behind an utterly massive wealth portfolio worth over $100 million. We're talking private jet, a number of multi-million-dollar mansions, tens of million dollars of cash. It's an absurd total for a senator supposedly making a couple of $100,000 a year. But that's precisely what we're seeing in an increasingly neo-feudalized world, where bureaucrats and billionaires are teaming up to create a top-down governance structure that's accumulating unprecedented levels of power and affluence. But at the same time that's happening, we're seeing more and more billionaires and bureaucrats enforcing highly woke, dogmatic ideology that's designed to destroy any legitimate basis for dissent. And so the key here is that radical woke fanaticism actually protects the power and affluence of the billionaire and the bureaucrat by silencing any and all opposition to neo-feudalized dynamics. As we all know, those who refuse to comply with this woke fanaticism that's used to keep people subservient to the billionaires and the bureaucrats are, in effect, excommunicated. It's called cancel culture. And they're excommunicated by being branded as a heretic, which today involves being labeled a racist, bigot, sexist, and all kinds of phobes. And so while Feinstein was a stellar example of the wealth and power of the new elite ruling class, LaFonza Butler is an equally stellar example of the new fundamentalism, the new religious faith that serves to excommunicate anyone who dares stand in the way of this increasingly refeudalized society. Now, the good news in all of this, as Victor Davis Hanson has noted, the good news is that because ideological fidelity trumps competence as the basis for social mobility now, this refeudalization has a built-in frailty, futility inherent in it. Its leaders are already evidencing themselves to be the biggest incompetent clowns on the planet, as you can see, and that incompetency will ultimately be their undoing. Until then, let's all congratulate Maryland on getting their third senator. Hey, gang, I know what it's like to feel alone out there in these turbulent times, but I broke free. If you too have been looking for a community with like-minded patriots who are serious about resisting globalism, building a parallel economy, and having intelligent and deep fellowship on a regular basis, then you've come to the right place. In my Courageous Patriot Insiders community, we're building a close-knit movement of, by, and for patriots who are breaking free from the outrage and despair cycles of the mainstream media and taking on the fight against globalism. Every week, I deep dive into the content I can't share on big tech and give you the cliff notes on the truth of how patriots just like you are building up their communities, starting patriot businesses, and fighting the woke in both public and private. All with a few history and political lessons from yours truly, of course. If you want to stop feeling alone as a patriot and stand together with this fast-growing community, be sure to click on the link in the description below. Don't wait. Join me and my Patriot Coalition today, and let's get fighting.